I'm doing a blind reaction to this sister on what's it? This is African diaspora news, where she went to Ghana and she just couldn't believe what she witnessed. So I'm like, all right, let's do a blind reaction, see what this is. I have no idea what to know or expect. So let's see how it goes.
A sister from America traveled to Ghana for just a few days. She wanted to explore Ghana, even though initially she was not too sure about her solo trip to Ghana. She still made the time to travel to Ghana. And now she has a different dilemma. She doesn't want to leave Ghana. This is what she said.
So
We'll come back and discuss.
before we even get to it, I'm gonna tell you right now, I had the same dilemma. I wanted to not come back, and I think one of the reasons why I had to come back because I had no money to stay there. I had maybe like a week's worth, maybe a week and a half worth of money, and I had to come back. I was staying at a high-end hotel, so I get the sister, but let's see what she's talking about.
I need to make up my mind, or I need to take my happy American back to our country and deal with the realities of being Black in America. That's what I love so much about being here. Never in my life have I felt so naturally accepted and, most importantly, valued in a society ever. But yeah, I didn't expect to enjoy myself so much.
As you heard, she said as a Black woman, she's never felt this safe, valued, and respected elsewhere. She comes from America, so she's comparing where she comes from versus where she is right now. And she was
I was in Ghana in 2022, and I felt exactly how she felt. I told people that that's the first time I didn't feel black. Don't get me wrong. I'm proud to be a Black American. I mean, you see my shirt. I'm proud to be a Black American, but it's different when you go there and everybody looks like you, and you don't have to feel how you say it. You don't feel like the different one. You don't feel like 12% of the population. You don't feel like you have to assimilate from this room to that room. Now, mind you, I was only there for a week. I'm sure there's more to it. But just the fact that I can go there, everybody looks like me, everyone feels safe. The women I was with were very attractive and they were very safe. They felt secure. And a lot of them were walking out at nighttime, going to different clubs. So, yeah, I mean, I totally see how she feels. Like, I did not want to come back. And when I got to JFK airport, I felt a culture shock. And I was only gone for a week.
was also honest about how the transition was. The first 3 days were hard for her. And you hear that a lot, especially people that are coming from the Western world. It takes time for them to adjust because of the culture shock, but also the way of living is different, right? So there is an adjustment period. But once that passes, it becomes much easier. As you heard,
And the thing about coach in the adjustment period is like, don't worry about that. I mean, if you went to any other, even in a state, I went from Sacramento, California, which is kind of a medium small city, to Los Angeles, which, as you guys know, is a very big city, and that was a culture shock. And so no matter what you do, there's gonna be a culture shock. But once you get past that, that's when you can start to see how the city's at, what the place is actually like. And for me, there was a little bit of a culture shock, but I mean, I was on a tour thing in Ghana. There was a little bit of a culture shock, but I just didn't want to go. It was welcomed, like like what it's like being in a place where white people have no power. I had a white person there, and they were some of the nicest people in their place, but it was like you can't really be racist here. Of course, they're gonna be nice, you know. So I mean, like I said, everybody was friendly. Everybody was working their butt off. Like, it was such a great place to be. I did not want to come back, and honestly, I want to figure out how to move back there at some point.
our sister saying that she'd rather even stay. She is considering staying longer, and it's not just their experience. We hear that a lot from other people, but this makes me happy because the mainstream media tries to paint a narrative, and these politicians and Western world leaders, they want to show Africa in a different light, and they want to separate our people and focus on our diversity instead of what similarities that we have. And when people experience it for themselves, when they travel for themselves and see for themselves and speak about it, it makes me happy because they're debunking the lies, right, through their own personal experience. And we love to.
Yeah, and for me, it was like to go there and just see that and see how all the lies were not true. And I'm like, you can't tell me anything bad about Africa anymore. I get it. Africa has their problems, but generally speaking, they got just as many problems as anybody else. I mean, of course, America is doing great. They've been around for 250 years. And the given African countries barely been around for 60. So maybe 70. Maybe 70. But still, like, they got along. It just takes time for that stuff to develop. And when you go there, you feel safe, you feel good, you see the lies, and you uncover the truth. You feel at home, finally at home. Like, I don't know if my ancestry is in Ghana, but going to Ghana just felt like home. It does make me want to hurry and get my DNA test so I can figure out what's really going on. Like, where am I, where did I originate? At least figure that out and start working on getting some citizenship. But like I said, when I was in Ghana, I did not want to come back, and I was so happy to be part of a group of people who I can go there again. So 2026, I'll be going back there again, and also too just to go there and just to try the food was amazing, the weather was great. Obviously the water was a little bit of a problem. I had to adapt to that, so I was living off bottled water, but. Like, I didn't think I watched TV one time that I was there just because I was enjoying being in the clubs. I was enjoying being around the people and the pools and the bars, like just enjoying the environment and the museums and just enjoy being. I can actually go there and just be. And I don't think you really get that feeling in America, at least not as a black person.
Hear it. Just recently, US announced a travel advisory against Ghana. It's like it's not the safest place, which Ghana was ranked one of the safest countries in the world. They're just taking it too far. They recently just updated their travel warning for countries, and in this list there are 4 countries that they've included. These countries are Ghana, Burkina Faso, Morocco, and Uganda. So at this point, as I said, they're not even trying to hide it, because why is Ghana in there? Why would you put Ghana in there? Ghana might be safer than the US. I'll have to check that again, but.
You know what? She might be right on that. Ghana might be safer than the US. And let's face it, let's say that it wasn't. I mean, US is one of the most dangerous places you can go to, especially these days with this administration. Come out here as an immigrant, a dark-skinned immigrant. An immigrant, darker than a European immigrant. See how kind of time you gonna get out here? What kind of time you gonna get out here? I mean, this is not a safe place, and the longer this administration is in office, the more dangerous it's going to be. So to sit there and try to say that, oh, Ghana's dangerous, I'm like, who are you talking to? The U.S. is just as bad as they say other countries are, if not worse. At least, Ghana's not funding, other wars. Let's put that in perspective. But, they gotta sometimes I think they gotta keep, us down, because they know if all of us get together, it might be a problem for certain people. So I wonder if that's kind of part of it.
Why would you put Ghana in there? You put Morocco, you put Uganda. And Burkina Faso, we understand why Burkina Faso is in there. It's clear as day. There's an agenda behind that. The strongest agenda is they want Captain Ibrahim Traore out. And they'll do anything and everything to make sure.
Yeah, they want Traore out. That's actually propaganda. That's all that pretty much is. And they're starting the propaganda campaign against Burkina Faso, Mali, and Nigeria. That's what that is. But, I don't know why they're doing it against Ghana. Ghana and Black Americans have always had a nice connection, so I guess they're trying to sever that a little bit. But also, too, they're trying to keep this country as wide as possible and make everybody, indentured servants again. So that might be another reason.
They smear the name of Burkina Faso. That's just it, right? But Ghana, can you at least pretend that you are doing the right thing? So obviously it's a lie. It's a propaganda. And I love to hear our brothers and sisters coming and seeing it for themselves and debunking the lies and talking about it. So well done to her, and I hope that she stays longer and experience Ghana even more, but also explore other parts of Africa.
Hello, my name is Adam.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to start exploring other parts of Africa. I seriously cannot wait till I'm able to do that. I mean, you guys see my other videos where I'm talking about, trying to hit every African country, in a single year. So hopefully that happens. But, we'll see what happens. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next video.